YouTube, chicks. Get ready. You know what to do, chicks.
Look at Chick Smooth.
Hey, Chick Smooth. Appreciate all the coverage that you've been doing. I've been watching your shit for a while. I just subscribed to your shit too, bro.
At this point, Drake, it's time for you to sit down and do an interview. Doesn't matter if it's with a white platform, a black platform, Indian platform. Brother, you gotta speak out. There's too many rumors going on right now. Kendrick announcing he's going to be headlining the Super Bowl next year has taken on so many different legs. You have people mad at Jay-Z for offering it to Kendrick. You got people rallying for Wayne. There's people even mad at the mayor's office in New Orleans. Now, Kendrick doing the Super Bowl next year adds a whole new layer to his dynamic with Drake. Obviously, he won the beef with Drake. There's no question about that. But the Super Bowl kind of makes it seem like Kendrick is miles above Drake. Now, if you're a Kendrick fan, you obviously think so. And if you're a Drake fan, you're like, nah, they're both the same or Drake is better than him. Either way, getting offered to do the Super Bowl is a huge deal. So much so that it's now a hot debate whether or not Drake has ever been offered to do the Super Bowl. Now, more from the Rory and Mal podcast, he was the first person to leak the news.
Or are you on the other side with OVO and boycotting, like turning off the TV when halftime comes?
No, it's the reason why, because again, Kendrick is one of the ones that eventually would have had a halftime. So now the sticky part about all of this is Drake has been offered this Super Bowl show for some years now and has turned it down. Probably 4 years he's been offered to perform at Super Bowl. Said no for whatever reason. Whatever reason, he just didn't.
Did he tell you that, or is that like a known thing?
I didn't know that.
I've never heard that either.
What? That who?
Drake.
Oh, yeah.
Said no.
Well, he has. Drake has turned down the Super Bowl a few years.
Why do you think he's turned it down? Because that's really
I don't know.
interesting to me.
I don't know why he would turn it down. I mean, that's up to the artist, their discretion. Maybe I'm on the road right now. I don't want to, whatever reason.
Want to be able to give it the proper
whatever
time.
Reason it may be. It may be a conflict. When you're talking about artists that are that big.
Then 2 days ago, a random source from Bloomberg put out an article, which really wasn't an article if you guys actually click the link. But the person tweeted saying that he spoke with NFL sources and Drake has never been offered the Super Bowl. And then comes yesterday with Elliot Wilson saying, I have it on multiple sources that Drake was actually offered to do a Super Bowl multiple times.
I had some intel. I thought Mal was capping. I thought he was lying about Drake turning down the Super Bowl.
He said Drake turned it down multiple times, right?
The sticky part about all of this is Drake has been offered this Super Bowl show for some years now and has turned it down. Probably 4 years he's been offered to perform at Super Bowl. Said no for whatever reason.
That sounded wild. It was like 4 times.
Like,
who turns down the Super Bowl that many times? Even Ack was like, how many times he turned it down? Why would he turn it down? I have an authority. My multiple sources have told me that Drake has indeed turned down the Super Bowl. He actually turned down the first two, the one in Miami and the weekend one.
That was the first two that Jake took over?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Jay takes over. And again, his rival, whatever, Drake, like you talk about all these history and this back and forth. I mean, these guys are all rivals with each other. They've had their good times and bad times with each other. But business-wise, Jay-Z wanted Drake on that Super Bowl stage. And he turned it down twice. So now years later, when an opportunity is asked of Kendrick and Kendrick says yes, is Jay not playing fair there? Should Drake feel a way about it when he's known himself? He's had opportunity to do it.
No, that affects it.
And he's turned it down.
That changes
twice.
my opinion.
So with all this conflicting information going back and forth, people and their sources, there's no way to tell when somebody's lying, obviously. If you tell somebody you got certain news from your sources, you can't expose your sources. So it's either people are going to believe you or not. Well, today, 2 of the top 3 media personalities in hip-hop are not buying it. Joe Budden and Charlamagne both spoke out on their respective platforms on the situation. Even though both guys may be a little bit biased towards Drake, they're not buying that Drake turned down the Super Bowl. Here's what they said.
And I hope Drake isn't, hey, by the way, I hope Drake isn't doing corny shit like
to the white people
leaking that. Well, I got offered the Super Bowl a bunch of times and I turned it down.
Somebody said that.
Nobody believes that. Yeah, because why wouldn't you do the Super Bowl?
Of course he would.
Of course you would.
Stop.
If you took the time to write a rap that says big as the Super Bowl,
right,
then you understand the magnitude of the Super Bowl and you would absolutely do the Super Bowl.
I think I can see him getting offered it, but him looking at it as like, oh, that's the performance that people who are done kind of do.
I don't believe that.
Like a Vegas record.
Well, let me say this with what you just said. Let's just say hypothetically he did get off because Why right there dispels all of the internet rumors about Jay-Z hating on Drake then? Stupid motherfuckers. Because everybody was saying Jay-Z hates Drake, Jay-Z hates Drake. So if he offered us the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and he turned it down, is that hate? So clearly Jay-Z's not hating on nobody. He's helped Wayne.
That's a good ass point.
He's offered Drake the Super Bowl, which I don't even believe. I don't believe that happened. But if let's just say hypothetically,
that's a great point.
Where's the hate?
He either offered you the Super Bowl.
Oh, he's hating.
Or he's hating.
That right there, just right? Mm-hmm. He liked the post about Cam saying, I guess Jay was hating. He didn't say Jay. He just said one person is hating. Yeah. He never said who it was. Post? Champagne Poppy.
Oh, he gotta stop it.
So if you like I saw him like the post. So if you like the post, I forgot what site it was he was on, but if you like the post and then you turn around and say you've been invited to do the Super Bowl and you turned it down,
about this lie is unbelievable.
Why? He's been one of the biggest artists in the
I
world.
can see him being offered to do it, but I don't see him turning it down. That means what to the NFL?
It means that he's transcended all genres of people, and it would be a great marketing thing to have him doing the
Drake's
Super Bowl.
going to do a Super Bowl.
The NFL is the NFL, and if you turn us down the first time, we're not doubling back the next 3 times to see if you want to do it.
That's not what I said. I said I think that the offer could have potentially been presented.
Offered 4 times.
No, I didn't say that. I said the offer could have been presented to him.
Oh man! Oh yeah! I'm not against that. Yeah, I'm not against that. The NFL is not doubling back. If you turn it down, you turn it down.
Gotcha.
You don't turn it down, for the most part. Homeboy ain't get fucking more than 1+1 at the Met Gala yet. Them companies that still think they them companies ain't looking at him the way all of us look at him. Sorry, buddy, that just sounded, you know what I mean? And with you doing everything in the world to appeal to anybody that listens to anything out there, there's no evidence in the last few years of your career that you even at the point to turn down the Super Bowl. You just would do that out of arrogance and I'm me, I'm in my bag, nah, fuck out of here, nigga. But no, he would do the Super Bowl if they called.
He would 100% do the Super Bowl.
And if they wanted him to do the Super Bowl, he would do the Super Bowl.
And not just that.
Because they would make it right.
As arrogant as he is, we'd have heard about it. He would have threw that in a verse somewhere or something.
Especially when the hook is as big as the Super Bowl. You and Cole, but I only got offered you the dope. Yeah, he'd have threw that right in our face.
He'd definitely.
Not to say that he won't never do it and don't have the catalog to do it. He 100% can do it.
He should do it.
Shout out to him. And that's the end of that. Ish, I did want to double back to and re-listening to the pod and our dispute about, and then we'll leave this Drake stuff.
Now, I think it's very important to note that several artists have actually turned down the Super Bowl. Michael Jackson, Rihanna, Prince, Adele, Pink, and Cardi B. So it's not too far-fetched to think that Drake was offered to do the Super Bowl. Before he was knocked down a couple notches with this Kendrick beef, Drake has been the man. Yes, he's been the main artist for the last decade. So personally for me, it's not that hard to see Drake getting multiple offers to come do the Super Bowl. I think it probably sounds so crazy to us because us living in America, we're thinking, why would he ever turn down doing one of the biggest, if not the biggest events in the country? Maybe Drake doesn't think about the Super Bowl the same way that we do. Maybe Drake has a personal gripe with someone in the head office at the NFL. But for whatever reason, Drake turned it down. I don't think it's too crazy to think that he was offered to do it multiple times. I get it that the image we now have of Drake post the Kendrick beef is a little bit different. I just don't want us to lose sight of the fact that Drake was him and probably is still gonna be him. You guys get in the comments below. Do you guys agree with Joe Budden and Charlamagne? Or do you guys agree with Maul and Elliott Wilson that Drake actually turned down the Super Bowl offer multiple times? Post comments below. Subscribe to my channel, like this video. I'll see you guys later, man.